Okay, now that you've added one activity, which is the discussion forum, maybe you want to have another activity such as a quiz. You will go down, first of all, make sure that you have your editing is turned on. Always make sure editing is turned on. And you're going to drop down on add an activity to a quiz. Okay, now that your quiz is opened up, we're going to call our quiz Proportions. An introduction. This quiz will focus on proportions. Do the best you can. There's a timing where you can open and close the quiz, and it's going to look like you can't click on it, but you have to unclick this disable, and that way you can change the day that it's open and then the day that it's closed. Time limit, you can give it a time limit if you click on enable, and you can set it to maybe 30 minutes or however long you like. You can give a time delay between all the attempts that you allow the students to make at getting the quiz correct. Display questions per page. You can do as many that will fit. You can do one question per page all the way up through 50. Shuffle questions, meaning, you know, if two people are taking it on a computer next to each other, because it's number one on their paper, doesn't mean it'll be number one on the next person's paper or the next time they take it. You can shuffle within questions. For the attempts on the quiz, some people want to only give them one chance, some people want it unlimited, some people will limit it to 10, as much as 10. That's up to you, that's the teacher's prerogative. I'm going to choose one attempt is all they get. Grades, the grading method, the highest grade is the one that they'll take, or the average grade. If they take it 5 times, the average grade is what they get. The first attempt or the last, and my first attempt would be the grade that they take because I'm only going to let them take it once. Apply penalties. I'm going to put no just because they only get to take one chance to take it. Decimal digits in grades, it can be 0 to 3, and we're going to round to 2 decimal places. And review options, this is basically for the students. After they attempt it, do you want the students to be able to see their score, their feedback, their answers, their responses? Later, while the quiz is still open, do you still want them to be able to see that? And after the quiz is closed. So if you don't want them to see it, you can uncheck it. If you want them to see it, you can leave it. You can set your quiz so that it has a password if you choose. You can also do overall feedback. You can have a grade boundary, and if they get 100%, you may want to say something, you know, generic, great job. And you can have it go all the way down to 0%, and you can add up to 3 more feedback fields. So you can do 100, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, and below if you choose. And then you want to save and return to course on whatever it is that you chose for your quiz. Okay, click on your quiz title. And notice that the questions in this quiz, there aren't any. No questions have been added yet. We want to create questions. And if you arrow down, there are several types of questions that can be created. We can do essay, matching, multiple choice, short answer, true, false. For the sake of demonstration, we're going to choose true, false. And the question name is going to be proportions. And the question text is proportions are equivalent fractions. The correct answer is going to be true. And the feedback for a true response, you don't have to put 1, but you can put great job. Feedback for false, this is a true statement, because if 2 fractions are proportional, They are equivalent. And then you want to save changes. And then we want to select that question right here under action, and we want to add it to the quiz. And we want to save changes. And then we can go to the questions. We can go back to 8 math skills. We can go in as if we were a student. If you click on proportions, this quiz will focus on proportions. Do the best you can. We can attempt the quiz now, and it tells us there's only one to try. Do you still want to go on? Proportions are equivalent fractions. We're going to say true. We're going to submit. Great job. And we got 1 out of 1. And we can save without submitting, submit all, and finish. And then that tells what percent we got, how long it took us, and then we get our feedback. And that is how you set up a quiz inside of the student activity on Moodle.